what I want to go drill into your process a little bit more deeply. When you approach a project, so everyone meets each other, shakes hands, here are the engineers, we're going to sit down, everyone knows what they're doing because you work with professionals, and you start going, are you trying to be with the cloud or in the implementation? Like, where are you in that continuum? And forgive me if I'm like trying to surgically go into your process in a way that would disrupt it in any way. But I trust you've been doing this for a while, and there's no threat.
I'm in the cloud, with the exception of I'm aware of what could go wrong on a technical side, and I might, like, if something good is happening, I might look over and make sure that we're rolling.
So that's a leap over to here momentarily, but then you're back
maybe
in the cloud.
maybe if I feel like, if I was in the moment, I would be in the cloud, and if something good starts happening, it would trigger something in me like, I hope we're really doing this, because I don't know if we could ever do this again. That would be a thought of when the first time the real world would come into the picture would be something good is happening. Let's not lose it.
And when that happens, do you, never been in a studio besides a podcast studio, do you say, hey guys, that sounded good, more of that? Or do you wait, you let them continue? Because obviously you don't want to break their flow.
We would never want to break any flow once it's happening. Yeah, once something's happening, just kind of sit back and watch.
And do you think there's resonance, like the team of engineers and other people know when it, quote unquote, is happening?
If everyone's paying attention, yes. When everyone's paying attention, it's usually pretty obvious. Sometimes the thread will be something different than expected, and maybe not everybody would pick up on it. And that might be particular based on my taste or an artist's taste, or someone involved might say, let's listen back to that. I think that was better than we thought. That can happen.
Especially with you. I don't get to see you as nearly as often as I would like. And so when I do, I confess that I'm a little bit of a kid in a candy shop.
I wrote down The Brain Tells Us Stories. So you talked about, I walk in, certain data points, you recognize me, but it's a real, like looking at a cloud shorthand. We go through our lives doing this all day with everything we see. And the shorthand, in the case of me, you know me, the shorthand turns out to be right. It checks out. If it's something we don't know and something we're not familiar with, something happens. We experience something on the street, something happens, and it doesn't make sense. Something out of the ordinary happens. The first thing is this doesn't make sense. Then what we do is, again, subconscious, unconsciously, I don't know if it's unconscious or subconsciously, without thinking, we create a story that explains what just happened, a hypothetical that makes it okay that what just happened, and maybe he's running because his dog ran away and he's chasing his dog. Maybe that's why he's running. And as soon as we have that thought of what it might be, we relax, because now it's not just a guy running and this is weird, but it's a guy running, he's probably running after his dog. And now we register that story that we just made up without even knowing we were making it up as what happened. And then later in the day, if someone says, yeah, do you see that guy running out of the box? Like, yeah, he was chasing his dog. I saw that. And you won't even realize that it was the maybe hypothetical story that was the first possible explanation that allowed you to continue walking. Do you know what I'm saying? That's our whole lives. Our whole lives are reacting to things, making up a story of what we think may have happened without realizing that's what we're doing, and then living the rest of our lives as if that thing that we made up really happened. And we never know.